Welcome back. Brand Retailer of the Year, and Key Event Sponsor, to just name a few titles Dubai Duty Free has gained this past year, who have achieved remarkable growth, posting $1.275 billion in sales for 2010. So, with a successful year behind them, what is next for the largest single retailer in the world, and what sort of challenges lie ahead? Well, I spoke with George Horan, the Deputy Managing Director for Dubai Duty Free, earlier today to find out. Mr. George Horan, thank you very much for having us here today. It's very kind of you.
You're very welcome.
So in terms of Dubai Duty Free, you recently posted double-digit growth for 2010 and a turnover of 4.66 billion. Tell us about the reasons behind this.
Well, there are many reasons behind this. I think 6 in particular. Number 1 is we have a large number of passengers using Dubai International Airport. Last year we had 46 using the airport. So they're here and they all have a desire to buy something, hopefully. We have a very nice shopping environment. We have about 15,000 square meters of commercial space, which in our opinion is quite ornate and is very receptive to people buying. We have a very good team. We have 4,000 people in the company, and they're all highly motivated, and they're all very anxious to do well and do better. We have a fantastic range of merchandise, which we purchase globally. And we have a very good managing director, Mr. McLaughlin, and of course he has a very good boss in His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum, who's the overall boss at the airport, and he's a superman.
Has there been any sort of change this year that's sort of driven that growth at all?
Well, this has been a trying year, really, with the global economic crisis. You know, it has affected us, really. People are more reluctant to spend their money, and they're thinking twice before they actually buy something, which meant we had to work very hard to make sure the offer was attractive to them whilst they used the Dubai International Airport. So I think the challenge really was getting people to put their hand in their pocket and taking the money out, really. It has been our biggest challenge so far.
So in terms of products that have been most popular this year, what have you seen sort of flying off the shelves, so to speak?
Well, we have about 7 core products, really, which sustain the industry at Dubai International Airport. Our perfume and cosmetic sales have been fantastic, and they have been for many years. They just seem to grow year on year. We keep on extending the line available. We introduced Kiehl's, which is the skincare brand from America recently, and it's proving quite successful. Liquor and cigarettes obviously is a very popular commodity at Dubai Airport, and of course gold is a global requirement for people to buy, especially into the Asian market. And we have a new type of passenger coming out primarily from China, and they have very expensive tastes, and they like to buy expensive commodities, which of course helps the revenue, in particular like Rolex watches, Cartier watches, Omega watches, which have grown by about 26% last year.
Oh, wow.
So it's a big injection for us, really.
Definitely. So in terms of the different nationalities, what type of nationality have you seen spending the most?
Well, of late, the Chinese have been the best spenders at the Dubai International Airport. Before them, I think the Russians were our best customers. But the Emirates Airlines has over 120 destinations now from Dubai Airport, and it's obviously huge for us. They're expanding their fleet dramatically. So the more they expand, the more business we can do through Emirates Airlines passengers. Our problem really is assessing the requirements of these passengers depending on where they're going, really, so the product meets with their expectation.
So in terms of 2011, looking forward, yes, what are your main objectives, and what's your sort of vision for 2011?
Well, 2011 is going to be a difficult year for Dubai Duty Free, we expect, as it will be for many other operators. We are presently looking at the design of Concourse 3, which will be used by the Airbus A380, and we'll be going out to tender very shortly for the building of a shop there. It is reported that Jebel Ali Airport will open in September 2011. We have a retail offer there of 2,500 square metres. And we're in the process of fitting that out now, completing the fit out and working with the vendors for vendor involvement. We're rebuilding Concourse 2, which is used primarily now by Fly Dubai, and they're becoming big players at Dubai International Airport, and their passenger mix is changing. So we're changing the offer to meet with the expectation of this new mix of passengers using Concourse 2. We're extending our warehouse infrastructure. We have 37,000 square metres of space downstairs. It's semi-automated, 60% is semi-automated, and we're going to automate the other 40%, all in preparation for the opening of Concourse 3 in 2012. So we've got quite ambitious plans, really.
Incredible.
The fact that Qatar won this bid is fantastic, I think, for the region in general, and perhaps also for Dubai. The infrastructure in Dubai is very modernised and very efficient. I think people will come from Qatar and stay in Dubai whilst they watch the World Cup in Qatar. So I think it can only be a good thing, really, as we see it, you know.
So what sort of challenges still remain? What have you still got ahead of you?
Well, we're a very high-profile operation at Dubai International Airport. We're the world's #1 single global operator, and that's a very hard act to follow, really. People's expectation when they come to Dubai is very high, and for us to exceed or at least satisfy the expectation and indeed exceed it is a difficult challenge. Keeping our staff motivated, keeping them trained, keeping them fluent in different dialects which are spoken now at Dubai International Airport is very challenging, as I see it. Currency fluctuation is a big issue for Dubai International Airport, the strength and weakness of the dollar, the pound sterling and the euro. It all affects our retail offer at retail, and people are converting into sterling pounds. If the pound is strong against the dollar, we look expensive, So it's a challenge for us, for sure. But we think we have the means in-house to meet with this challenge, and we'll go forward, we believe,
Excellent. Well, I wish you the best of luck with all your future plans. Thank you very much for speaking with us today. It's very kind of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's it from the business desk. You can write to us, though, at news@city7tv.com. Up next, Zoe Richards is back with the news.